Thursday, August 18th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East, and really another nice day yesterday. Things changing at least subtly here over the next couple of days. We'll bring back in the chance of at least a few afternoon thunderstorms into the forecast, and that same general idea holds through the weekend. Also continuing to watch the tropics. I'll spend a good deal of time on that here coming up in just a couple of moments. Let's start off with the radar imagery this morning. It's been a few showers late in the night through the pre-dawn hours through parts of the mountains, and also some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity offshore. One of those mornings that if you happen to be along the coast there, you could probably look out over the Atlantic and see a few of those thunderstorms rumbling around out there. Most of the Piedmont and interior Carolinas as a whole dry this morning. There's a look at temperatures as we begin the day. We're seeing a lot of 60s in many spots until you get down into southeastern North Carolina and a good chunk of South Carolina, and it's still 70 or higher this morning. Dew-point temperatures beginning to climb a bit, and we're getting a little bit more muggy here for the next couple of days, and that's one of the ingredients to get a few afternoon thunderstorms going. Here's the upper air chart off the European this afternoon. Still the ridging centered back over the desert southwest. Still at least some mild troughiness in the eastern part of the country. And as we go into the weekend, here's Saturday, another disturbance approaching really it's in Missouri and Illinois by late in the day Saturday. That'll swing in and help to bring additional thunderstorm chances by Sunday and Monday as another cold front moves our way. And by Tuesday, we're probably seeing that front off to our south, and then we begin to peel our eyes off to the southeast and see what happens with a potential tropical system. Now let's start off with today, this afternoon and this evening. I expect at least some isolated thunderstorms across the Piedmont and the upstate. Highs upper 80s to a few low 90s out there. Similar forecast for Friday, although maybe a little better coverage of storms. The GFS not as impressive as some of the other modeling, but at least a few thunderstorms out there certainly. And then it looks like Saturday, I've gone ahead and thrown back in the chance of some thunderstorms Saturday. Looks like we might see one of those convective complexes develop over the plains and the Midwest and drop our way. So it could wind up being a decent chance of some thunderstorms scattered around on Saturday. And then with that next cold front beginning to approach, there's Sunday and there's Monday. The front moves through on the GFS by Monday evening. And just looks like, again, Sunday, Monday, the chance of some scattered thunderstorms with us. And then that front probably off to our south on Tuesday and Wednesday. GFS keeps things a little hotter than some of the other modeling. I still think a little cooler by the middle part of next week. And notice there's that tropical system showing up near Cuba on the 0Z run of the GFS by Wednesday evening. So let's shift gears. Let's talk tropics. We have that one tropical wave that is in the Caribbean Sea. It is getting more and more organized. That's what it looks like this morning. And we'll see. Already you can see Central America in the left-hand part of your screen. So this is getting closer and closer to land, and this will head into Central America over the next few days. But if it can avoid land and kind of stay north of this portion of Central America for the next couple of days, and this could get classified as a tropical depression or maybe a tropical storm before it moves into land for good. But again, this is going to be an issue for Central America, some flooding down that way and parts of Central America. This will not be a factor for the U.S. at all. Now let's look out in the central Atlantic Ocean, and there is the next tropical wave that a lot of the models are keying on. It is not terribly impressive right now. It's battling some of this drier Saharan air that's covering a good chunk of the Atlantic, but it looks like it's fighting that off fairly well, and if this can sustain some deep convection, then it might be all systems go to see this ramp up into a decent tropical system. Let me show you some of the model plots here. This is going to be the Canadian model, and this is out Friday morning, and it brings the system to the southeast coast of Florida, and from there it kind of lifts it up the Florida coast, and you're looking at a position on the Canadian then by Saturday evening, just offshore of the South Carolina coast. All right, that's the Canadian model. Let's go to the European. Here it is, Saturday morning. Now, this is not this week. I need to stress that. This is next week. We're talking 7, 8, 9 days away. So this is Saturday morning, the 27th. The European has this tucked really close to Jacksonville and Savannah. And 12 hours later, it's lifting up closer to Hilton Head there in southeastern and southernmost parts of South Carolina. Let's look at the GFS. There it has it Thursday evening, kind of near the Straits of Florida, and maybe a little bit more toward the Miami side. And From there, it lifts it basically up the Florida Peninsula and then into the heart of the Carolinas by the time we get to Sunday morning, the 28th. A couple of the models very quickly here. This is the Hurricane Wharf, and this is the end of the cycle for it. Out at 126 hours, it has it just south of Hispaniola. And finally, the No Gaps, that has it as a weaker system near and just north of Hispaniola at 144 hours. So, what's the bottom line from all this? Well, again, at the moment, that system in the Atlantic is not even a classified system, and it's still got a ways to go before it even attains that tropical depression status. We'll see if it can do that. If it does, like I've been kind of highlighting for you, that window of opportunity is there for a run at the southeast coast by the second half of next week. So maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's when you have to keep an eye out there, anywhere from the Florida coast up through the Carolina coast, and we'll see if this thing can develop. And if it does, it might make a potential U.S. landfall later next week. But there's still a lot of ifs involved, and we have to see if this thing can even survive enough to become a classified system. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a great Thursday, and God bless.